Alright, here we are. Hey guys, welcome back to episode... What is this? Episode 9 of Season of Ghosts. And, I am on the wrong map. 1 second. As I'm shifting back over there, all the HP bars are good. Good. Let's do the recap. Reaction Hero Point this week.
As usual, I'm up for it if nobody wants it. Okay.
Alrighty.
All right then. So, Shugo, our resident guardian dragon, had been afflicted by some kind of fungal disease from the fungus monster that we fought at the Lover's Glade. So, when we went back to the village, Yuga took him to the plain to get some rest and study his condition. Bowsen and Leodan, however, went to meet the Kodama at the Great Willow to report on our success in dealing with the fungus. The Kodama lamented being unable to sense other Kodama in the area who would now be on the other side of the fog walls that are enclosing the areas around the village. Willow Shore was at the epicenter of the fog wall, after all, and the Kodama considered the existence of a potential exorcism that may allow us to pass through the more physical parts of the fog wall that are basically made of spirits. So we visited the cathedral to visit Elizabeth Candora, who is is she really, she's like a priestess?
Yeah, something like that.
Kind of like head priestess there, and discussed the possibility of learning such an exorcism, but before we could get a word in there, we were informed of a kidnapping. The stable owner and stable hands went missing during the night. We surmised that they were taken to the lumber camp to the west, and connected this to Ugly Cute's report that there's this faceless monster activity there. So we hurried to the lumber camp, and rather than sneak around, as soon as we saw a Kappa being harassed and abused by the faceless, we chose to announce our presence very boldly and directly, and attracted the enmity of a very large portion of the camp. And one, thank goodness. Eventually we found where some of the missing villagers were being held, along with one of the leaders of the Faceless here, but he seemed to be kind of a rebel of sorts. He told us how his people are compelled to kill and to conquer, but some of them have been questioning the sense in all of it. And he agreed to let the prisoners that he was watching go if we would go through the rest of the camp and defeat the remnants of a more cult-like faction among them. And in doing so, we would not only protect their own village, but also quiet the loudest voices that were tempting them all toward pointless bloodshed. So we agreed to do so naturally. And as we began to search the rest of the camp, we encountered some air wisps, as well as the Abacus sisters, a couple little gremlin-like characters from long ago, and found some documents that might be of interest to village officials. Maybe. And that's where we are.
Could be nice. Especially, since this was a major employer of a lot of people in Willowshore a couple of years ago before, well, the Empire of Longhua collapsed and the lumber barons, well, ran away. That being said, though, as you guys are reconvening, Leodon and Shugo outside while Yuga and Bowsen clean up the rest of this old treasury here that was seemingly already looted, but you guys found some little pieces of loot still hidden away in some parts of it. But it's fairly scoured now.
The place is also kind of messed up a bit by the wind wisps doing their thing.
Certainly the office.
So Yuga took a little bit of a moment to tidy up too, because that's just absolutely inexcusable.
Very well. Rats still gnaw at this cage on the outside of the building there, seemingly just held by the Nafra bow for whatever reason. You're not quite sure.
Should we just let them go? They don't seem to be aggressive towards us or anything.
Go Go for it. Go release
I-
them. I will stand here and watch.
Let me leave first, then you can release them.
Leodon, as you approach, I would like you to roll a nature check. Trying to show that you're not really being that threatening to them, as you're trying to just let them go.
Oh yes, the perfect individual for this. The snake.
You pull back on some of the sticks and such that were making this cage. You give them a way out, and they're tentative for a moment, snarl once or twice, but you show them that you mean them no harm and that they're free to go. They eventually take the opportunity to rush out, and, actually, I will say that the other Noperabos did push this log aside that was blocking this to leave, as you allowed the others to escape as well.
We should check these other buildings before we leave, just in case there are more prisoners.
Not just more
A
prisoners,
fun
but
idea.
more faceless that don't conform to the ideals of the rebel leader.
Or perhaps more paperwork to dump off at the village.
Yes, that too.
Leodon opens the door.
You open the door to what seems to have once been a kitchen, now ransacked. It doesn't seem to have been used all that much by the Noperabo. The coals are long, well, cooled. But you also find a body lying on the floor here, with a cowl sort of over their head, facing down, sort of in the corner of the room.
Let's see if they
Leodon-
have a face.
Leodon's gonna inspect the body, maybe pull back the cowl to see if they're one of the Noperabo, as in don't have a face or do have a face.
Well, you turn them over, and you reveal the fact that they do not have a face. It's just that blank skin. No ears, no eyes, no mouth, no nose, nothing but a blank visage. And you also realize they have some wounds on them. You note some places that their garb was, pierced through by something.
Well, it seems like this Noperabo was ambushed by something or someone inside here. No one seemed to have bothered to check on them in all this time.
Or they just dumped them here.
There's also a good possibility, but they didn't seem to be all that cruel towards their own dead, from what I could tell. They certainly seem to have a sense of community around here.
You can always roll a medicine check for further information on wounds.
I am going to inspect the wounds.
Okay.
While you're doing that, I'm going to clean up the kitchen a little.
Sure thing, Yuga. Well, you have a look around on their wounds here, and you discover that a lot of them match up to bite marks that would come from a spider of some sort. You've already encountered spiders around here, those hunting spiders, twice already. And, the perpetrators don't seem to be here. They may have been here at one point, maybe when they arrived, attacked this one, and then just left them in here. The scene is a little confusing, but whatever caused this doesn't seem to be here anymore. You do find on them, though, as you're going over the wounds, what seems to have been a little explosive charge, a little sort of glass sphere that has a little bit of a roiling thundercloud on the inside of it.
Ooh. Well, this is a pretty, I would call it a marble, but it's a bit big for a marble, isn't it?
Just a little. I don't see any prisoners
Oh.
here.
Seems to be the only prisoners. There's dead body around here, so
What's that? Yuka could carry this.
Yes?
Oh wait, no, it's a bomb. So
it's a
I
bomb.
don't. Party
Well,
inventory.
I can take it probably. I have alchemical knowledge.
It's a very good thing to use on an investigator, so you don't waste it.
Still, there
Otherwise-
seems to be
That's good.
a way deeper inside, so we should probably just continue looking for now.
I agree.
Up this door, probably a storeroom at some point, scraps of vegetables, grains. You give it a once over, but it's completely empty. Nothing here.
Well, that does make me wonder, if they don't have any mouths, do they even eat?
How would they eat if they don't have mouths, though?
I can imagine one way. They like absorb it through their face where their mouth would be.
So they would just cram it on their faces.
Yeah. And just boop, going.
Sounds
Like an
very
amoeba.
annoying, all things considered. Seems to be one more building around here, though.
This one as well. Should go and open this door.
Yes,
Okay.
check that one first.
You try
Appears to
to.
be locked.
It seems locked, yes.
This door does not want to open.
1 second. This door will open. I have some very convincing argument called thief and tool.
I thought you didn't do that kind of thing, though.
I'm not. Lialdon pretends to be very inexperienced with picking locks.
Well,
Very convincing.
it seems to be adding up. You're not making much progress in the moment. Go for it again. With that, though, the lock, it's a pretty simple one, gives way to you, allowing you to open the door here.
Oh, would you look at that? My random poking seems to have worked.
As you're able to open it up, you find what seems to have been a well-furnished room, actually. Carpet, desk, wardrobe. Seems like a cloth over here that seems to be the access to another room there. It doesn't have a door icon, so you just walk through it, if you so wish. But, as you guys enter here, and as Minako sort of skitters under, you hear, "Get out of here!"
Oh.
A man that, a voice rather, that you guys have been acquainted with, sort of shouts that. "Goddamn spiders, just,
Minako, back.
She
Sorry to intrude.
retreats. I just scared it.
Wait, who's out there?"
Oh, apologies.
We're, not anybody?
"Is that you, Yuka?"
Yes.
"Oh, thank the heavens you're here. Stand
Oh,
aside so I
okay.
can get out of here. Excuse me, it's...
Trapped in here.
Well, they locked the door to the front. They said that I was some sort of honored guest. Thank you for getting me out of there, or at least freeing me. Are they gone?
Most of them?
No. Well, we believe they are all gone. We are checking the last of the buildings now.
Very well. Did you find the others? Those they took, the farmhands.
There was
My
there was a
son.
big cage. We let several people out of it, and they went toward the exit.
Several people, but what about my son? You didn't
Was it
see
some of
him,
them?
did you? You know his name. It's Ming Sung.
Did we see him?
You remember seeing him at the stables, but you didn't see him in those you helped out here, no.
I guess we haven't seen him yet.
Well,
If he was taken too, then
they took him. I'm not even sure he's still in this camp. Some of the monsters, they took him away, and they said something about Ming Sung having an old soul, which, child, I wouldn't imagine it from him. But apparently they saw something in him, something they wanted to offer to something they called Great Kukopti. You have to get out there and help him.
That's who they meant.
What do you mean?
We heard something about one person being called an old soul or whatever, and not being there. I didn't connect it right away. I'm sorry. We'll definitely find him.
It's old soul business. I don't even know what it means. But they saw something in him, and you have to go quickly before they do something. Before they offer him up to some whatever pitiful god they have.
Go we shall.
I will.
It's good that we found you first, though.
We were just making sure there was no more of these things here.
Fine. If there are others here that you can say immediately, yes, that's totally fine. I'll stay here in this room until you give me the all clear to leave. Just please be quick. Do what you can.
You look hurt, though.
I'll be fine.
Okay. If you're sure.
I've taken worse scrapes falling off a horse, and this is nothing. He does look pretty badly wounded, though.
You good? You wish to patch him up quickly while we check the other building?
I wouldn't want to spend less than 10 minutes on it.
Just, I'll be fine. He grumbles, but he allows you to try to help him a little bit.
If the party is inviting me to do so, then I will do so.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your medicine. Go over him. It's a pretty simple wound. It seems like just a scuffle as part of him being taken here. A lot of bumps and bruises and scrapes. You clean up the problem areas, and he should be fine at this point.
Yeah.
And he gets 8.
At the very least, take him out of the near-death state, huh? Or not quite, but
Well, instead of red near death, he's orange near death now. So
orange near-death. That's fine. That's fine.
pulled him away, stabilized him, made him fine. But that is over the course of 10 minutes. The other members of the party would be probably doing something during that time, I surmise.
Checking the next building if there's no signs of danger.
Okay. Well, are you checking for signs of danger? If so, roll a
I'm going to be
perception
listening,
check. Yeah.
basically, at these doors.
I'll stay here, focusing. A good 10 minutes to do just that.
Hugo, you feel like you hear faint sobbing and frantic voices.
There might be more prisoners in here. I hear sobbing.
Sobbing is good. Wait,
Well,
Excuse me?
no, that's not what I...
You open up
Hugo
the door,
opens it.
and you do see that there are a couple of villagers here. Oh, thank you. Thank the heavens you're here. We're not sure what was going to happen to us.
Well, I know what will happen to you all now. You'll get to go back to the village.
The village, yes. Of course, I think Sun Wong, they're injured. If you have anyone who can help, some potion or something, they're over there.
Liado looks very much just is biting his tongue in the back.
Specifies potion.
Roll a perception check, Leodon.
I'm rolling.
As you're listening to this, it seems just the weirdness of a frantic individual, honestly. You keep thinking in your head at some point these Naparabos are going to use that ability of theirs, but honestly, you're not sure that it is happening here. It's just normal people. So as you guys step up, you were wrong. So,
Oh no, sobbing was not good.
as you guys step up, these individuals, while still looking like these farmers, and in fact still wearing the faces of these farmers, they were looking towards you. This ends up being a little bit different, as they pick up these staves that were just laying around the room and sort of crack their backs getting up. We didn't think you would be this foolish, really, but let's see if your souls are old enough for the ritual. Take them down. They will serve our efforts.
I'm just like quickly sheathing this because I'm gonna be drawing a different weapon.
My familiar phased through the wall.
Yeah, sorry, I just pulled them
Oh.
for the purpose of this.
No worries.
You hear this happening, so you'll enter initiative, and we'll have you roll medicine for your initiative, because that's what you were doing at the time.
Cool.
Determining how well your instruments have been placed out, so you can quickly just put them down and rush out. They're all
Right,
going
that's
to
the
roll.
perception roll I needed.
They're all going to roll their deception checks for their initiative rolls, in fact. Which helps them a lot, actually. I just need to change them all over to deception. There we go, that's number 2. And number 3. It's very hard doing ambushes, because then you just have to start setting up the combat and it slows things down, but either way. Actually, I can even add their +2 because they were impersonating somebody else for their initiative. You guys are handily caught off guard by this because you've never actually seen these creatures make use of an ability like this. You thought, in fact, that they didn't actually have the ability to take somebody's face. They were, in fact, only just, blank faces up until now. And unfortunately for you, one of them is already jumping out as the other is cackling and saying those nasty words. So let's change over to some combat music. Actually, I don't want to use this one. How about just this one? Alright, so as they are standing up, they sort of command the attention of the room for a split moment as they reach their hand up to that face they have stolen and start ripping it off with a disgusting display and casting this rubbery flesh to the floor. I'm going to need everybody in the room to make a fortitude save against this. Or, sorry, that's not the one not that one. There's a lot of face-related abilities. This one. I need a will save, of course, for this. As their facial features melt away, they menace you all. I think Yuga... I'm going to say give yourself a +2 on this because you can barely see them from your position.
Sure.
So just a circumstance bonus of +2. So with that
Cool.
+2, you are still horrified by the prospect for the thing you're witnessing out of the corner of your eye down the way through those doors. You can still see it and still be frightened by it.
I hear it more than I see it, and it's. Ugh.
Yes, you give yourself frightened 1. I'm going to ask you guys to do your own conditions, especially when it's AoEs like this. So Leodon, right click, add frightened. There we go. As they do that, they are going to then cast up a shield. So surrounding themselves in this quick barrier as they have opened the door for the others to engage. Leodon, what do you do?
Alrighty. Well, I'm gonna do what I usually do, and that is to devise a stratagem. So
Okay.
The other one, some quick thinking to strategize. I'm keeping that as an attack for now.
Okay.
I'm getting my recall knowledge as part of this action in.
For these, you would be rolling occultism. You recognize these definitely as more advanced Naparabo. These are Naparabo occultists. They have a greater control over their strange facelessness and can, well, use that to horrible effect, as you've just seen. So what do you want to know specifically about them?
I don't want to be that guy in the metagame, but there was different ability shown earlier, so I'm just gonna get that out of the way now.
Sure, yes. So you recognize, you're thinking about what they just showed you, that they can impersonate people's faces. You have to wonder how they can get those faces, and they are able to literally heal them while they themselves are faceless. It's sort of an innate curse that they can inflict someone with if they focus upon them, which will challenge your body's fortitude, your body's ability to keep itself, keep its form the way it should be.
That is horrid.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to take a safety step away from that after finding that out.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my final action to whip it into shape.
Easy enough.
Hopefully, wait, 9. It's exactly enough. Let's go.
Exactly. You're frightened, but that doesn't stop you from finding the right moment to slice in with your whip. Good effect. Alright.
That's my turn.
Yuga, you realize what's happening.
I don't like the sound of it, but I'm gonna come in to help for sure.
Go help your friends.
Oh, jeez.
Shin realizing what's going on.
Okay. I'm gonna target a couple of these with hold on. Shoot, who do I? Prisma? Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna summon a flock of birds to bombard a couple of these guys.
Okay.
They're whippoorwills.
Ought to be, yes.
Just a basically 5-foot burst radius, so I'll just hit 2 of these guys on the right.
Mm-hmm. Click through the dialogues there on the ability.
Bludgeon, piercing, slashing. What do you think birds would be? Little
Piercing.
birds.
Here's
Or
one.
slashing.
Little birds.
Either or. But as you unleash this upon them, they'll roll their reflex save as these sacred beasts suddenly apparate all around them and start biting, slashing, doing what they can to take these creatures down. And both of them will take the full damage of 7 as they're attacked from out of nowhere. And then sort of blink away back to Pharasma's, well, the boneyard.
Cool.
And I think
That's
that'll
it.
be you. All right. So this one here. In order to use their other abilities, they kind of... that's fine. This one actually is going to stare down Shugo, still with that peasant's face on them. You've yet to know true fear. Your face, too, just as a statue would fall, so too will yours. Over the years, eons, not my name, sorry. But either way, you are completely not caring for one thing they are saying as they stumble through even their threats. They try to threaten you with that fierce spell that they sort of apparate around you.
I will avenge the villager that you killed to take that face.
They slash out with their staff, but you easily deflect it. This one here. They are going to also sort of command the attention of the room as you start hearing again that disgusting sound and witness the face being pulled away from theirs, leaving nothing behind. I need another will save from everybody. Failure on Liaodon. Give yourself that frightened one. Everybody else is starting to get a little bit used to that effect, not worrying about it too much. This one's going to shift over to the side, trying to get behind Liaodon and cut their escape off through that door. That'll be their turn. This other one here, they are going to reach out without a word towards Shugo, again still with that peasant's face on, and attempt to rack you with this sizzling pain that starts to well up inside of you. This phantom pain. I need a will save. Shugo. This one you're not able to throw off as easily as the other. You feel the pain well up in you and you're not able to do much about it. It hurts. For 4 damage. And you also become sickened 1. And as long as you are sickened 1, you're going to take this persistent mental damage as well. As it continues to rack you with pain and sickens you to the core, that's just so much. It's overriding any sense of, peace that you have on your mind. And then they're going to attack. Their staff. Or try to, at the very least. Your physical abilities are still well in check, deflecting these attacks. What do you do, Shugo?
Well, I'm gonna start by retching.
Okay. Or at least trying to steal your mind and sort of power through the pain. Roll your fortitude. In this moment, you're not able to, though. There is a lot of pain coursing through your system. Still.
Well, I'm gonna move down over here next to Lylon, and I'm gonna try to take out this guy who's threatening him.
Okay. That's definitely a hit. Roll the damage. Though you're not able to put out too much of effect there, they're still looking pretty bad.
That's all 3 actions.
Okay. Baozin, we go over to you.
Alrighty. I think I want to put out some damage.
Mm-hmm.
So this one that's next, I'm gonna make his life not so fun. I'm gonna start by targeting him with Phantom Pain.
Okay. Seeing the effect it has on Shugo, you try to return the favor on one of them. They're going to roll their will save.
Oh, of course.
Will probably is one of their better stats still, being a cultist.
Well, it doesn't help when they roll in that 20.
It certainly doesn't, as they just push straight through it. You don't know true pain. I will show it to you.
Alrighty. Then I'm gonna cast Nudge Fate to give Liaodon that potential +1.
Mm-hmm.
And as for the 8 armor class, Is being off guard a status penalty?
Being off guard is a circumstance.
Then I will apply it to him. 1, 2, 3. Yep.
Okay.
Familiar bounce luck on this foe.
Yes. I still need to give a nudge fade to you guys. For some reason, it's basically like a guidance, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just, it only adds 1 if it would turn a failure into a success, or I think a critical failure into a failure.
Yeah, and then it lasts a minute. It just sits there for a minute. You don't need to sustain it, right?
Nope, but I usually do for the sake of spinner threads.
Right, okay. That being said, you try to peer into the threads of fate here and manipulate them just a little bit. I think that'll be you. The long face. Wouldn't it be better if you didn't have to worry about it anymore? They're going to reach out towards you and bows in. You feel your face and the edges of your vision dimming, and as you feel it sort of falling away from you, or trying to at the very least. I need a fortitude save as they try to steal yours. Bows in.
I'm gonna hero point that. Wait.
It is an incapacitation effect coming from a creature that is lower level than you.
Never
So,
mind.
you
I'm
still-
gonna keep that.
Yes, you still get the success effect as your raw power pushes through this curse upon you. Your form is able to maintain itself better than most, but you're still dazzled by the sort of sudden shifting of your face and your eyes around a little bit. This one is going to rush up to here as the last action on their turn. Leodon, yours.
Alrighty. Once again, scheming to try and strategize.
Okay,
I'm definitely keeping that.
pretty good one.
I'm once again going for a recall knowledge.
Another occultism. This one's a natural
Okay.
20. Which one were you specifically targeting with this?
Their low save, and I guess for the second one, I'll ask for any immunities they might have.
Their lowest save is their fortitude, the casters. And sorry, second one? What was it again?
Any immunities or resistances.
Being Nopera bow, and you think this is the same for every Nopera bow, they are immune to inhaled effects, olfactory effects, and visual effects. Essentially, actually, I guess they do have ears because they are not immune to auditory effects, which is maybe an oversight. But either way, yes, inhaled, olfactory, visual.
Alrighty. Well, I'm continue to dance around this fellow and whip him again.
Okay. Remember that you do have known weaknesses. That's why I asked you
do.
which one you were specifically targeting with this recall knowledge.
Unfortunately, oh yeah, right, I do get a plus one. Excuse me. Yeah, obviously I was like targeting the one that is I was going to use my gem on.
Okay. So make sure you go attacks it. I'll just put it on there. All right, Leona, go ahead.
Alrighty. I attacked and rolled really well, surprisingly.
Yes, that'll be a crit as they put themselves in a awkward spot here. And take 12 damage in total as you slash into them. Crack. Loud. I think that'll be you, right?
Yep.
Yuga.
Were you targeting? Sorry, were you targeting the one between you and Shugo, or the one between you and?
This one, the one with the flank.
This is correct. It should be fine. They don't have their spell shield on.
I think you applied it to the wrong target. The damage.
The damage? No, he was... Oh, Leodon, you stepped here. I thought you were attacking this guy.
No, I'm simply avoiding this guy.
I see. Well, you don't have to avoid them any longer because they fall to the ground dead. Yuga,
Perfect.
your turn.
Which one fell to the ground dead?
The one
next
that you
session.
cannot see. from your position.
Oh, okay, okay. That explains my confusion. All right. Well, he's in my face. I have a dagger and I have a spell. I'll use them both. Spell
Mhm.
first.
Quick
Fire
charged lance of Pharasma. It does miss as they duck away.
Oh, reroll on the cantrip. And the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Sure I have the right one.
Dabbing out with it, you will definitely hit. For not an insignificant amount. 4 damage there.
A little bit counts. That's a full turn.
Quick cut to them. Alright, this one here. They are going to peer down at Liadon and once again continue to cast from their position a phantom pain upon you. Liadon. Two on the dice. Not a critical failure because you're still pretty decent at will saves. But still, a failure in total. So the 2d4 base damage, and then the 1d4 persistent gets added onto you as well. I'll just add that on. There we go. And you're also sickened until you can steel yourself and push through the pain. The third action will be to rush down to this one. Rush down to help their ally, but not really wanting to get into too much of a flank. This one here, they... let's see. They're going to look to Shugo and try again. Rack their mind with fear. This idea that over the ages your statue would wear down and nobody would ever even be able to see your face underneath. Remember who you were. It's a little bit frightening, to be honest, so you're a frightened one. So add that to yourself with a right click.
Working on it.
And actually, their final action will be to join their allies right here, in fact. Grouping up. Alright,
I wish I had AoE.
on to you, Shugo.
Alright, I'm gonna try to retch again.
Mm-hmm.
Need to get these status effects off of me.
Trying to steel yourself against the pain, but it's just not happening. Still racks you.
Come up here and stride next to Leon with the flank here.
Mhm.
And use my potency crystal to make that difference.
Okay. Raise your volume a little bit. There we go.
Oh, sorry. Do I have known weakness on this guy?
This guy, no. You only get known weakness on the one that's dead, actually, so we could just remove that. Still crit, even so.
1 second.
Through all that pain, you focus yourself. Defend Liadon as best you can, with a total of 30 damage is exactly their HP, so you rip them to shreds with one bite.
He was not joking. That is all 3 of my actions.
Okay, bows in, over to you.
Alrighty. As
You
for
do
the
take that one
one,
damage, another recovery.
Do I get a
between-
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Do I get a recovery
Oh,
still,
actually,
even
no,
though
you don't.
with
Yeah.
how the spell works? Okay. That's what I
I'm gonna target the one between Liaodon and I. I'm gonna hit it with Void Ward.
Okay. Fortitude
Uh,
is...
Do I have to do the dazzle check?
Yes, because you're targeting a creature. Still succeed. They failed. Full damage.
Woo! I love this cantrip.
It's just as easily as any
Wrap
other
the flesh.
fleshy creature. Theirs begins to atrophy. Doesn't bring them down though.
And then I am gonna just. I don't need to sustain Nudge Fate. And they don't use physical attacks. I'm gonna sustain Nudge Fate anyways. Well, basically recast it on Liaodon in order to reduce the AC of this enemy between us.
Okay. Balancing their luck in your favor.
Yep. Basically just trying to give Liaodon the best chance to hit.
Mm-hmm. As we go to that creature that you have been affecting, they're also going to unleash their own phantasmal pain on Yuga, in fact. Trying to spread this pain to as many targets as possible. Yuga, roll your will save. Yuga, even though you are caught off guard a little bit, your clerical mind is steeled against pain and such. It's like a discipline priest in World of Warcraft. What is that ability called? Pain suppression. Yes, you know that. Is your cleric. But you still take the full initial damage. This is a quick spike, but you're able to throw it off in an instant.
That was uncomfortable.
I'll show you uncomfortable. Whacks a staff into your face.
As he does.
For a total of 12 damage, in fact. Comes up so quickly again that you were just completely taken aback as they're maybe trying to make their way to an escape, but you bar the way. That'll be their turn. Liaodon, over to you.
I'm gonna take a page out of Shugo's book and try to retch.
Alrighty.
That's a 42 save, right?
Yes. More stealing your mind, focusing on the pain and pushing it out. Their spell DC is 18. Unfortunately, because you are so sick and distracted, it's also making it harder to even get rid of that. Fail.
Actually, I have Nudge Fate.
Ah, yes.
It would turn a failure into a success. Yeah, baby.
In this circumstance, your fate just nudges you in the direction of winding your way out of that pain. So you are no longer sickened. You still need to succeed on the persistence check to recover, I believe. Oh, no.
It ends.
It ends immediately. Okay.
Awesome.
All
okay,
right.
and Nudge Fate ends too since he used it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe that came in clutch. Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you remembered.
Anyway, business as usual. Obviously, targeting the one that's between Bowden and me.
Yep.
That's good enough. I'm keeping that as an attack.
Okay.
And I'm immediately attacking.
You see that all circumstances are in your advantage. You hit. A pretty good amount of damage. 6 there. This one still isn't fallen yet, though. Despite its scars.
That's all 3 of my actions, though.
Okay. Yuga, over to you.
Sounds like somebody needs to hold the line. Battle medicine.
Okay. On yourself, patching up those wounds, that nasty blow, you're able to sort of set the wound on yourself. For 15, yeah. Right back around.
Not the best rolls, but hey, that's basically where I started the fight at. So hey.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just one action, right? So that's cool. Battle medicine's disgusting and I love it. And I'll see if I can finish this one off
Alrighty.
with the Divine Lance. I can't. Next.
Try to, but slings right by them once more. We go to this one up here, who's still quite healthy, but has not removed his face just yet, so he's going to do that now, pulling it down and off. You thought it was over, but they're still going to do it. So will saves all around.
Meh.
Yuga's fine. Shugo, you're frightened 1. Liaodon and Baozin, I need your will saves.
Yep.
Success on
Dramatic
Baozin,
effect.
success on Liaodon. All of you are pretty used to this. Shugo, it's still disgusting to you, and takes you aback for the moment.
This isn't how faces are supposed to work.
You were just learning how they were. That is a hit on you, Shugo, as they turn on you quickly, seeing you sort of pedal back for a moment. Take advantage of that moment of weakness. That's going to be their turn. Shugo.
You know what? He's gonna return the favor.
Mm-hmm. That is a hit. quick bite, a nibble.
I keep rolling minimal damage. I'm gonna try again.
Alrighty.
Another little bite.
This one definitely hits as well. Through the pain, through the fear.
Last action, I'm gonna try to retch again.
Alright. One more time, trying to steel yourself against this pain, but it's just different and it's uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. That's 3 actions.
Baozin, over to you.
Oh, you're still alive. Let's fix that. Am I still dazzled?
You shouldn't be, no, it's only a round.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna use one action to cast Nudge Fate on myself.
You okay?
And to continue the lowered AC on my target.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to try and skewer him.
Easy enough. Should be. Fling the needle dart in their direction. Close range with your allies nearby. They don't have much room to get away. At least, theoretically.
Unless I roll a natural 1. Alrighty, that's my turn.
As you try
I see
to
how this is going.
weave the fate in your direction, well, the thread snaps and you wildly fail.
Yeah, even with Nudge Fate in my favor, that won't do anything.
You're turning to shoot these needles all out, and they all just go through threads of his clothing, miss by his head by the merest centimeters. Yeah, sometimes it turns around on you. Anything else?
Nope, that's all my actions.
Alright. You won't get out of my way. Maybe your friends will. They go and attack Liadon. And at this point, they are getting pretty desperate. They're just going to go for 2 more strikes with their staff. They're technically attacking with one hand. They shouldn't be. I don't know why they ever have creatures attacking with one hand on these stat blocks, and you can't actually change it. Oh, wait. Oh, yes, you can. There we go. Alright, 2-handing the staff, attacking you, even though... Hold on. Let me put this attack back out, because it didn't change it for me, even though I have the thing, and this... Oh, override D8. I have to click that. Alright. This is the damage you take, which isn't any different. It's 5. So, Liadon, you take 1 hit, and that's all they can do. Liadon, over to you.
Well, they bashed me, I'm bashing them back.
Okay. Theoretically. Probably. Truly.
Very violently, in fact.
Very. You slash into them at the perfect... Oh, they are not supposed to be invisible. Alright. Perfect opportunity. Roll that crit. And it is plenty to send them to the ground unconscious because of the whip's non-lethal damage.
Don't worry, we'll stab him after.
I'm going to do a map attack because I may as well.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say I'm going to spit some venom in their face, but I realized I cannot dazzle them.
True. They do avoid this strike, seeing their ally fall.
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, Yuga, you have a chance here.
Not very many options here on my end, so Divine Lance.
Mm-hmm.
This one's gonna hit, though. It's gonna be so good.
Spiraling beam towards them. It misses by just the slightest margin.
Shield!
It goes up. We go to their turn. They're still focused on Shugo. Again, they are also pretty desperate at this point. They're just going to unleash a series of attacks at Shugo, starting with a natural 1 that definitely misses. Going for the second one, which definitely misses. Going for the third, map 10 will probably miss unless it goes to a natural 20, which it does not. It rolls a 0.
I know
As
that
they're
feel, bro. I know that
struggling
feel.
as best they can. At this point, Shugo, you have an opportunity to take them down.
I'm certainly going to try.
3 on the dice is not going to cut it. They have their staff up in your jaws as you try to strike into them. They throw you back.
It's very uncomfortable.
You said these guys are lower level than us, right?
Yes.
I just wanted to double check that.
Are you thinking about your reaction? Death's call.
No, I'm not.
Could be, probably. They do get hit for this one. 10 damage. They're barely alive.
You know what? I'm gonna just try to go for it.
Yes. I think there's a module I can download that's like a reaction reminder. Maybe I can code something up for you. You missed by 1 because you were sickened. No fate is being nudged in your favor.
Oh.
For my part, we kind of like bounced straight from the previous week's final encounter into exploring the next building and doing medicine, so I never really refocused.
Kill.
Yeah, I guess you never... Technically, you can refocus as part of doing medicine, but you didn't finish it.
Okay.
Yes. It is as part of the rules on focus.
Nice.
Because it is literally part of being a Pharasmite. Like a meditation thing. Anyway, Fortitude. Worst save for them. Easy hit for you. Roll the damage. There's not much left of their constitution. Not much left for them to fight with. I believe this will kill them if Bowser rolls the damage.
Death.
Yes. They are falling to the ground, atrophied. If they had a face, it would be gaunt and, well, without much life left. That'll be it for that encounter. Give yourselves 80 experience points. As things go quiet once more.
Do I need to keep rolling fort saves to get rid of the second?
No, not at this. Well, no, I usually just find it annoying to have to do that outside combat.
Yeah,
Unless it is like
like
a
poison
really
or
bad
something.
effect, like a really, like, could kill you instantly effect or something like that.
Yeah.
But here, no. It's just like 1d4 damage. It wouldn't even bring it down. Hugo would heal you. It's all the same in the end. So, as you guys have a chance to catch your breath here, you also have a chance to look around the room. You didn't really look too much into it. Before you were attacked, at least. There's an elevated floor that Shugo, Leodon, and Baozin are standing up on that takes up the majority of the room. Dozens of blood-red candles carved into the shapes of various ancestries are lit here, their wicks burning without smoke. In the center of the irregular configuration of lights hunkers a misshapen effigy crafted from a very deformed burl, like a, one of those burls you would find in a tree. Not in the tree.
Some sort of shrine, maybe.
Uncomfortable to look at?
In fact, as you guys look at that shrine specifically, it strangely seems to shimmer and ripple when you are putting your eyes more like focused upon it. One moment it appears as a hunched over man with long broken arms and a head made of a bundle of twigs, and in another it shifts to a crouching frog choking on a man it swallowed whole. In the next, it appears to take on a form not wholly spider nor octopus nor plant, yet something combining all three. And then, as soon as one sees one of those shapes, it shifts back to this tangle of roots, branches, and bark. Over and over again. It's almost like your mind is playing with a shadow. If you stare out into the shadows, you can see shapes in it. Here, it's a much more ready effect on your mind.
The more I stare, the more I want Sugar to smash it.
You should probably destroy it.
Well, if it's an altar, shouldn't we at least try and make out what sort of deity it could be dedicated to?
Roll me a religion or occultism in this case.
I'll go for occultism. I'm here pointing that.
Okay. Leodon, you're able to tell that this is some sort of religious altar, certainly. And it seems to be an active one at that. One that seems to be taking on some of the effects of, of the god it is worshipping. You think back to the mention of Kugakti at many different places. This seems to be an altar to this strange god. And because of that check, you also realize to destroy this altar, to deny the influence over it, you actually look to the candles strewn about. The candles that are shaped like gnomes, humans, Nagashi, and Tengu, kobolds, and everyone that they could think of has been carved and set down as a candle here. They are what is giving this altar this power, this strange aura to it. If you extinguish those, you imagine the altar will cease its, well, strangeness.
Well, I'm all for that. But this is an interesting pendant this one is wearing. What do you make of it, Bowsin?
Interesting.
Hollow cavity with an unblinking eye.
As we're looking at that, Shugo's gonna go and stomp on these candles.
Okay.
Put them out.
One by one, they are extinguished, and less you have that strange, shifting altar in your periphery. It is now just a bundle of sticks and burls of wood.
You know, Shugo, there are far less brutish ways that you could have done that.
I feel like the brutish way is the appropriate way of dealing with that.
Oh, not you two.
You go.
You guys gives me the heebie-jeebies. You surely understand it.
But of course. I just feel it's better not to give in to our baser urges.
There's no base urge in wanting to get rid of the quite literal elephant in the room.
You saw it as an elephant?
Well, it sometimes looked vaguely like an elephant.
Well,
If you
mean
squint
like a
really bad.
wall? Doesn't look that much like a wall.
We should consider leaving.
Yes. What's this?
I'm going to finish tending to my patient before we leave. It should just be a moment longer.
Alright.
I'll just go ahead and do that.
Are you okay? And for the purpose of it, you continue the treatment and heal him up.
Yay.
Easily
So
enough.
where was this location that they were taking your son?
I don't know. They left the camp to the north, and
North.
You go. We already know where they're going.
Oh, we do?
It's good to double check.
I think they're going to that wall. That terrible wall of souls. Of ghosts.
Oh. Then we need to go back to the village.
But what about my son?
We can't get through that wall without... There may be a ritual, yes?
They are performing a ritual. They are not through the wall.
The way I heard it, I don't think they can go through the wall either. They think they're guards beyond that wall. They're trying to free him.
You're right. Then we can do this.
They
You'll
only
have
left.
to patch.
They only left recently. And they said there are much preparations to be made. You might have time to patch yourselves up, heal yourselves before you encounter them. Just don't take too long.
I do certainly wish to do so. At least for two of you.
Yes, they said the time was not right. The moons weren't right. They would be soon, though.
I think I can get away with patching the two of you up then. They should be fine. Sound good, everybody?
Yeah, you can patch everyone up over the course of an hour.
I'll take it. Don't forget to refocus if you need to refocus.
I would love to
Yep.
refocus now that I know how that works.
Full on focus spells. If I could re-prepare during a refocus, that would be great, but I'm not a wizard. Wait, can wizards do that?
Only a very specific kind of wizard can do that.
Oh yeah, that kind.
Mm-hmm. The only kind people play, though. Literally, because it's better than any other one. The spell substitution one.
Yep. That's what Parent was.
Yep.
Mhm. But Sun Chong, the stable master, they said something about when the sun was at its greatest height tomorrow. Then perhaps they thought they could pierce the veil to free their master, their god. You have time before they do something awful to my son. I wished you to go now, but you will be better prepared and show up before the ritual truly begins tomorrow. You might have a better chance going up against their leader and whatever horrors they summon.
That is a good idea.
If we look at the distance, what's our estimate on how long it'll take to get there?
Oh, someone can roll a survival.
I've got it.
Right.
Sugar, you're not sure.
Shall I...
Somebody else can certainly try.
Sugar, you've never been that far from the village, so you don't really know what it's like. Yuga, however, you've been around and know the loggers. There is a logging trail that heads the west in that direction. And judging by where you've mapped the Wall of Ghosts, and you're pretty sure. Here, I'll pull up the map. Excuse me. Where is it? Here it is. You're pretty sure. Oops, my name is not. There we go. You're pretty sure that trail is, that you see on your map is the one that leads to where you need to go, the edge of the Wall of Ghosts. So just about at the end of that trail, and that's a 6-mile journey, about maybe 8. And you know that every 2 miles is an hour, especially through rugged terrain like this. So it'll take you 3-4 hours to get there.
Are we gonna
If we
rest?
called it an early night and then set out first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
We should get there with a few hours to spare.
So you don't think they will complete the ritual before then?
Not from what I could tell.
We
He
should
spoke
be-
at length about the course of their ritual and said that their best chance would be at the zenith of the sun tomorrow. They only left towards there today. I'm sure they have preparations and sure they will sleep over the night.
If you all want me to be effective at all tomorrow, I will need this rest.
Same with me. I need to commute and get more favors.
Me too. I need to prepare some bottles so I can quickly mix up potions.
Well, it sounds like we should stay the night here then.
Okay. I will, it seems as though you've cleared out the enemies. Stay in here because it's kind of nice, actually. For the time being. Until I have my son back, I'm not going back to town. But, I should be fine. Don't worry about me. And you guys find some place to put down your sleeping bags and rest up for the night. It's uneventful. But, for the purpose of it, as you guys are preparing spells and such, I'll give you an opportunity to do that, as we're going to go to our 5-minute break here.
Woo!
Sounds great.
So, everyone watching, we'll be back in about 5. See you then. Alright, we are back. Hello, everyone. So, you guys have rested for the day here. I'm gonna actually go in and push the day up. Also made a lot of effects expire. It's probably a good thing. Let me click through these. I wish they actually... I don't think I have the setting where if something expires, it actually goes away. You have to right-click it. I'll have to fix that. But you guys have the chance to commune with your god, commune with your patron, commune with the alchemical sciences, and prepare yourselves, knowing that the ritual... You have a little bit of time before this ritual will truly commence. And you were pretty spent after yesterday's things. Oh, and actually, everyone give yourselves 40 experience points for saving the stable master. Should be at 720. And you give yourself a bonus hero point for becoming an OCD person, I guess.
It fits so well.
And Leodon, as a reminder on your investigations, you know that there is some sort of cult leader. Probably a good idea
I
to...
feel like that would probably fall under the fog walls investigation.
You have to target a specific creature when it comes to these sorts of things.
That is a good point.
But
now
you know that specific creature, you can say, okay, they are in my investigation, and they are my investigation target, therefore you can benefit from that in the future.
Yep. I'm replacing creature that probably was off the fog walls with the cult leader.
Okay, so you guys are all prepared, ready for the day, healed up. How do you proceed?
Okay. Nice and early. Let's get moving.
Yes, I'm quite ready to go.
Alright. Mystic armor goes up. Do any other daily preparations as I move you guys up? So as the day rises today, you notice that there are overcast clouds sort of making their way over the horizon, promising to bring rain as soon as you start your trek. Find my rain. Rain. There we go. That is not rain. Why is that called rain? Yeah, so, it's about 6 miles there. You guys just proceed on foot?
Yep.
Okay.
I've always liked rain. It always brings such cheer.
Oh, I need to fix that again. Problem with having a screen in the background is Windows does this annoying thing where it just stops running that background window, even though I need it active. Keeps happening to my model as well. But anyway, I'll fix that at some point. That being said, you guys trek through the forest. The birds are still singing in this sort of bright-ish rainfall for the moment, but dark clouds do loom on the horizon as well, promising to bring more of a downpour going forward. And as you make your way down this old logging trail, choked by old weeds and other things, you start to see, sort of billowing up above the treetops and sort of curling back on itself a little bit as it gets higher up, this great wall of ghosts. Every so often you feel like you see the ebb and flow of packs, flocks of souls moving here and there across it, stuck in an endless sort of, well, hurricane of souls. You've already encountered it once before, and I think one of you brave individuals tried to cross it and only had the collective anguish of 1,000 souls rush through you at a single moment in time. Never tried to cross it again. Here you are, many days later, approaching it once more.
I will say it does somewhat fill me with dread.
I believe that is the point of it.
Fair, fair.
You approach the ritual site.
There's nothing to do but pass ourselves.
And as you do, you enter a little bit of an area where it seems like they did some logging a couple of years ago. And in this clearing, it seems to be a prime location where the Wall of Souls crosses your domain. You can see it a couple hundred feet out ahead of you. And as you loom closer, you think you see shapes sloping about, but all of them focused on the Great Wall beyond. So they aren't immediately going to notice your approach unless you do something loud, especially in the rain like this. Get some rain going. And maybe some fog too. I like fog. Actually, you know what? I really like their baseline fog that they have now, so I'm gonna get that up here. Fog. A little bit nicer. Thing I don't like them doing is making a bunch of terrain walls that'll slow you guys down, so I'm just gonna put them from trees. That's unnecessary. There. Alright. Luckily for you guys, a large tree that had never been chopped up still lies in the path from you to them. But as you look out beyond and get a better look at the whole situation here, you see this three-tiered stone standing near the Wall of Souls. And a little bit east of the three-tiered rocks, you see a dome-shaped cage built of bent branches and wooden slats. Amongst those, of course, you see figures in the mists. The mists aren't big enough to cause any concealment or anything like that. A larger set figure seems to be heading some sort of ritual, commanding some sort of occult power, while other occultists stand by, and even some pet rats are standing guard. A figure is strapped to the rocks, hand and foot, crashing in their binds, but not seemingly in any immediate danger. What do you guys do here?
Let's get closer. See if we can be a little sneaky, put ourselves in a good position.
We do have plenty of cover from behind these trees.
I'll just see what we're dealing with. And Shugo's gonna move forward towards the fallen tree.
Okay.
Staying low to use it as cover.
Cover definitely helps with stealth, but still roll your stealth check. $16. Okay. As you approach it, the cover of the fog and rain and tree itself seems to be just barely enough for you to slink into cover. One of them seems to peer up for a moment, looking, seeing if there is anybody there, but you escape their vision. As you get a little bit closer, you can hear this strange rite that is being chanted. We offer you this one. Their name, Great Kugopti. Unbind them from those who call them their friend. We offer you this one's blood, Great Kugopti. Unbind them from those they call their family. On and on.
Shugo looks back to the others to see if they're coming forward or what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm approaching now.
I'm also slowly moving forward.
Same, I'll do it too.
So you mentioned there was more people in the cage.
There's nobody in the cage.
Empty cage.
It
Okay.
is empty. The other occultists also seem to be taking their places as this ritual begins in earnest, sort of chanting. These occultists don't have any other face other than that faceless one that you usually are seeing of not their bows. The ritual seems to be progressing, and
We should move forward before something happens we don't appreciate.
Should we maybe try and hurry further into the woods on the south here to maybe try and flank them?
I'm gonna call them amateur occultists. Not like this is me talking to the Leonon. Telling him my plan.
It would be easier to go into the north, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Is a fair point.
I would like a stealth check from the rest of you, besides Shugo.
Gladly.
Oh boy. Time to retroactively screw up.
9.
Well, you guys still approach here, of course. And as you're trying to slink along this rock, Yuga, you're just not stooped down enough, and bows in, you step on some branches left behind by the lumberwork here, and the one leading it does seem to cut short, sharply, that ritual and reels about, revealing that, well, lank visage, this long flowing raven hair.
Who would dare to interrupt our ritual? Reveal yourselves. Stand before your soon-to-be god in earnest, and perhaps we will spare your lives.
Well, it's easy to dare against such amateurs.
Shugo leaps up onto the tree.
I know you. You are the ones that the other cowards reported to us. The others you caused to flee from the lumber camp, wasn't it? On what business, on what right are you interrupting our service to Kugopti?
That much should be obvious to the likes of you.
Should it really? Because we are doing something here to your benefit. We are all trapped here. And we are the ones, the chosen ones who hear his voice. The ones that can hear his voice without ears to hear them. Well, that is the way it must be. You, with your ears, some very large and grotesque, cannot hear his voice, for you must first close your ears to all else to hear it.
Please, can I shoot him?
Stay your hand. For yet a moment, we will stay our ritual. Perhaps we can come to an agreement. You must hear us out.
The moment that you attacked our village, you lost all your bargaining chips.
Oh, but you gave mercy to our compatriots. As the fighters, the foolish ones, who do not see the truth of great Kugopti. You gave them mercy. But mercy is not something we need. In fact, it is a mercy upon you that we are offering. You are not one bit curious.
Liadion is very patiently holding his crossbow behind Shugo. Just like looking at Yuga for any sign he might give him.
I would rather be trapped here than let you sacrifice any more of the villagers.
However, I am curious. What is this lesser deity you worship that's weak enough that they require a sacrifice to do anything of merit?
Lesser deity. I will forgive that slip of your tongue, for it is the only deity we have here in this domain, trapped from the outside world. Your gods may give you paltry gifts from the other side, but ours will directly intervene to free us all from this prison of ours. It's quite simple. Kugapti is generous, and Kugapti is accepting of all. You would cast aside that former notions of a life. In fact, we will even free this one, this paltry soul, for a soul of yours. You will simply take his place. I will show you.
This is so important to you, and if you're doing this for the benefit of all, why aren't you taking his place?
I am the one, the arbiter of this ritual. Or if I were to join with Kugapti on the other side, would I be able to free any of you? No. All you need is to offer him your name, your blood, and your flesh. Unbind you from your friends, your family, your body, and your soul. This great cycle we are bound within. It's the only way. Breaking ourselves from this great cycle is the only way to free us from this domain. Kugapti offers that to us.
Yes?
Is this tree low enough that I could potentially aim over it?
Mm-hmm.
Cycle of souls. The cycle of reincarnation, most sickening. It is not bad enough that Pharasma reaps the souls of all of us. It is worse that she allows souls to join the cycle that is most common across this land of Tianzia. The cycle of reincarnation. It's a terrible cycle. One where you are born into suffering again and again. We are the ones who know.
Not really suffering so much. It's really not a bad life if people don't come around and try to kill and sacrifice us. I'm just saying there are other ways.
All threads have their place, even suffering. For isn't it through suffering that you learn, that you grow? You think only of your own life. You gave up your name, but you keep your petty greed. You cling to your life. There's nothing left to bargain. You have nothing you can offer us.
We simply seek to be unbound. We will
And
help
bound you will remain. This will not free you. It will set you further down the path that you chain yourself in.
Very well. So too will you remain bound in your servitude to the cycle. Kugapti will free us, and you will not stop this ritual of freedom. Continue the ritual, you two. I will stop them myself.
Kill them first.
As both of these ritualists take the sides immediately north and south of Kumsing Sung, the son of the stable hand, Zodo the Zealous, takes a stance to defend. I need everyone's initiative.
Okay, that felt pretty cool. I enjoyed that.
That was nice. You were cool.
And you guys complain when
Not medicine.
I don't let you immediately
nine-
attack.
I think it's 19. Yes,
Yes,
19.
are showing up on my end, so I'm quickly refreshing.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead. You have time. I'm gonna change the music to boss battle.
Did you?
Five.
Did you hear my initiative correction?
Sorry, yeah, there are a
19.
lot of things going on. 19 instead of 21?
Yeah.
Should that change anything?
It's a.
Enemies go
so
first, so one giant rat goes before. Alright. I'm gonna take that perception, make it an initiative roll on the outdone. That means that Zoda the Zealous will begin things. As you all prepare yourselves, they seem to have accepted that this was a foregone conclusion. They are going to reach towards the wall, and all around you guys, as if pulled from the wall and slung out, its domain emanating out into this massive, burst of darkness.
See that you are blinded by the cycle.
They're going to place darkness spell between you and them.
I hate that.
A massive aura, completely devoiding any attempt to see past it, up to 20 feet in the air, completely obscures the ritual itself, or at least from your position, you can't quite see it. For the purposes of your tokens, you can kind of, how would I do this necessarily? If I make these guys invisible, which they would be in this complete darkness, I think that is correct. Where's the invisibility?
Ugh, this is annoying.
Invisible rats. Yes, now they're glowing for you guys, so you can still hear them, of course, that is what that glow is, but they're effectively invisible to you. That'll be their turn as this darkness envelops the battlefield.
I have a question.
Yep.
So I assume that reaching out to Shugo requires a DC check,
It would, yes.
even on a touch spell. Okay.
Yes, because
So if
you're
I
still
cast the
struggling to even
spell-
find them within.
If I find a spell, if I cast a spell and I miss, do I waste the spell?
It is fizzled, yes.
Can I use an action to find and touch Shugo first? A
We'll
seek
say-
action.
Yes, we'll say yes. So roll a perception check. And for a 19 total of 25, I'll say you were able to reach out and touch Shugo, and that physical contact is a precise sense, so you're able to cast it.
Alrighty, I'm going to cast Runic Body,
Okay. Unseen
wrapping
anybody,
his
even
claws
to you.
and threads.
His claws are enhanced with these whipping threads of fate. Okay.
But he already has a +1 to his attack, doesn't he?
Well, now he has a striking rune.
Ah, fair.
Mm-hmm.
More damage.
Alright. Able to enhance him with that runic body. The add-on conundrum before you.
Oh, he sees a giant dome of black cloud in front of him, and he's going to do the smart decision of walking around it.
Okay.
Moving here, I'm guessing I won't be able to see past the tree and around the dome here.
You would not be able to, you would only be able to see partially this cultist.
Alright, I'm going to take a second movement action in that case.
Okay.
Yoink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing this just for posterity, but using the licensed stratagem here, And I'm already telling you, regardless of the result, it is a skill stratagem.
Okay.
And I'm getting my recall knowledge in on the cultist leader.
Alright, on the leader. This is a specific individual, so remember that has a incredibly higher recall knowledge DC.
Probably, but at the same time, I have pursue a lead in this case.
Okay.
Oh wait, that actually means I get my thing for free as a free action.
It does, and in fact, because this is your lead, you are able to identify them, of course, as Zudo the Zealous, but this seems to be a Naprobo that is more masterful in their, well, techniques, in their innate abilities. So what do you want to know specifically about them?
Give me their special abilities.
Their special ability, their most notable, is that when they steal a person's face, there's going to be a lot more on top of it that they can do with your face. They can use it to revitalize themselves, or even cause that person that they stole the face from to become more sluggish and give them an identity crisis. So I will give you these, the purpose of that.
That's obnoxious. With my one remaining action, I have to shoot at someone else.
Okay.
I'm shooting this cultist here with my crossbow.
Easy enough. Straight shot. It hits them. They're focusing more on the ritual than you. Blast an arrow into their shoulder, but it doesn't stop them at the moment. They're zealous enough to continue.
That's my turn.
Now, one of these rats going to rush up, still hearing what they can, and attack Bao Xin. They're going to have to roll a DC 11 flat check to see in this darkness. If they hit, which they do not. They're going to go for another attack. 16. Matt will hit if they roll a DC 11 flat check. This is this creature gnawing at you, Bao Xin. Yeah, fortunately for you, even though there's a nasty bite next to you, they completely miss the mark. That'll be their turn. You got yours.
Yeah. This is extremely rough because I now have line of sight to absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know roughly, I know like kind of what direction that one guy was up there. I don't know if I could actually target him.
Sorry? Say again?
I said what's rough is like I basically have no line of sight to anything. So it's like while I know where these people were, I don't know if I'm able to actually target them.
Oh, yes. Okay, so you can target a space with a guess on where a creature is. If you think they're still in that spot, you can make the strike, and it makes sense that you would still think they're there.
I also wouldn't have a way to confirm it.
Would still be a DC 11 flat check, even so.
That is rough as heck. I think I'm gonna have to move. Alright, so first things first, I'm gonna have to get over this thing. Is it rough terrain or a jump?
For this, it's just you walk over it, it's fine. You're already ready.
Okay, so I'll more or less get to where the outdown is with 2 actions. I don't think I can really do much with a third action. Other than reposition.
Shifting up. Takes a lot of time to get around, but you do get there.
It's the only way I feel like I can get my spells to work.
This rat, hearing people outside moving around, is going to rush out into... actually, it's going to move here. Moving beyond this stump. hearing Leodon first, it is going to rush out and just make a quick bite. Try to at the very least. Rolls a natural 1, goes for another. As it goes for this other, rolls a natural 1 again. Okay, getting those out
Is
early.
the rat still invisible?
It is
Or
not
that
invisible. It's
okay,
just,
that's
yeah.
from the darkness.
So as it leaps out of the shadows, it's completely discombobulated on where people are. It didn't expect you to be where you are, and just rolls natural ones. This cultist continues to conduct the ritual. Shugo, your turn.
So, Shugo has dark vision,
Mm-hmm.
which I think negates the darkness spell.
Yes, it does. Only level rank 4 darknesses actually go over the dark vision.
Shugo's gonna move straight up here,
Mm-hmm.
and he is going to reposition.
Okay,
He's gonna try to pull her away from the altar into the darkness to maybe blind her.
maybe so. Roll an athletics.
I'm gonna hero point that.
Alrighty.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunately so, you're not able to pull them out as your claws sort of reach out from the darkness in front of them.
Well, I'm gonna follow up by trying to. Is grapple against reflex or fortitude?
It is against fortitude.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna try to make a bite just to figure out stuff.
Okay. Also, Trigo, Leodon, Bowsing, give yourselves hero points for that talk before.
Oh, thank you.
Trying to strike in, though. They bring up this wicked blade that they have and deflect it. This silvery sheen dagger that has a sickly red tinge to it, in fact.
That's all 3 of my actions.
Okay. The other occultist continues the ritual. As we go around to her turn, and as they continue the ritual for those 6 seconds, those of you at the front, begin to see, or feel like you're seeing this enormous looming shadow, but seemingly far away, but you can somehow tell it's still a large shadow in the distance of the wall of ghosts. Something is approaching, something is being called from beyond the veil. As the ritual continues. Zerda the Zealous. You think that darkness worries an eyeless creature, do you?
I don't know how you work.
She immediately. Let's see, actually. That would actually. Yeah. She has options. She has options. Okay. She's going to look to Yuga, though. You, weak of heart, weak of conviction. I will strip you of that so-called identity. Sorry. I think I need water. Hold on. There we go. Alright. She is going to try to steal the face of Yuga. Yuga, I need a fortitude save.
Hero point.
Okay.
Just to try to make a point here. Yep.
That is a
Weak
success,
of heart
upgrading.
and
Critical.
conviction? Are you mistaking me for somebody else?
Damn you. Whatever. This blade will still find your ally's heart.
She's going to make a quick strike with that wicked-looking dagger towards Shugo and miss. That is a failure on her part. Bows in. We go over your turn.
Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Darn rat. Do I still have a sense of direction? I guess I would have turned to face Shugo for that.
Don't you have dark vision too?
I have dark vision, but what would that do in darkness?
You can see. You're fine to see.
So darkness doesn't affect me, or
I guess so. I didn't realize that you had darkness. Sorry, I didn't think kobolds had it innately.
dark vision? Yeah. It came with me being a kobold. So,
Yeah, you're fine.
alrighty, I'm gonna use an action to stride.
Mm-hmm.
5. Yeah, I'm good to do that. Then let's see what I can do. I could do something really, really annoying if it works. I am gonna cast Laughing Fit on the caster.
Okay.
Will this work? Probably not, but I'm gonna risk it because if it works, it's gonna be great.
Sure roll. She does succeed, but they can't use their reactions as still every so often they're struck by a fit of it, just distracting enough that they can't react quickly.
Yep, they can't use reactions. That is pretty good. What's that? Oh, that's sustained. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna keep sustaining that every turn.
Okay,
That is
Leodon.
my turn. Oh, this is great. She doesn't have reactions for the next minute.
Alrighty.
Or, no, the duration is just sustained. Not even a time limit. Cool.
Let's look for another weak spot. As I just ignore this rat. I'm pushing my luck. I'm keeping that as an attack.
Okay.
I'm going to fire my crossbow.
Firing your bolt. Okay. Does miss on her. She brings that
Dang.
dagger up quickly and deflects it.
Map attack.
Hmm.
Try to take out the other cultists if you can.
Will do. Ridiculous map attack on her, so I'm just gonna retry the luck. Dang.
One more shot. Rings out again. Deflected.
And I'm
Okay.
shooting at the cultist.
Oh, you're shooting at
Wait.
this. Okay, okay, for this
Yeah,
one. Alright.
the second one was at the Zudu, and this third one is on the
Okay. Take one more shot. How are you reloading? That quickly.
That is a good point. I completely forgot. I had to reload at the start of turn, got my one attack off, and then had to reload again. Excuse me.
Yeah. By the way, you do have a loaded bolt at the end of your turn here because you missed them anyway.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. This rat, having seen everyone run away, is going to realize that this darkness sucks. Rush out of it. Go for Yuga. Filthy Bite does hit, actually, on Yuga. You get to take 2 damage, but I need a fortitude save, as might carry some sort of disease with it.
Ugh.
You're totally fine. Goes for one more bite. Quickly. Does not hit there, though. You guys are being harassed. What do you do?
Cool. I summon a spiritual blade
Hmm.
to harass the first of the ritualists that's by me.
All right.
Nice little flying dagger thingy. Pretty nice 10 damage. It's a good start.
Nice 10. Slings it into their back. Hmm.
Unfortunately, I didn't think to stop directly in front of his face, so there's really not a whole lot that I can do with this remaining action other than maybe put up a shield or a guidance or something.
Hmm.
And it'd be kind of hard for me to target anybody else with the guidance. I can give it to Yoda, maybe.
I'll take it.
Quick guidance seal on. All right. With that,
That's it.
move on to the other rat, who's continuing to harass Leodon. First strike, 8 on the dice, will miss, goes for a second and a third, just quickly. As they're just nibbling at your heels, they're not able to get in any strikes as you're just pushing it back, just shoving it off as it annoys you there. This occultist continues their side of the ritual. Shugo, your turn.
Think of what I want to do here. Is this rock difficult terrain?
The rock itself, we'll say yeah, difficult terrain.
Like if I was trying to get there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna stride up here.
Mhm.
Take an extra. Just to get out of the darkness, just in case.
Your allies can affect you.
Indeed. And I'm just gonna try to go for this guy performing the ritual. Just try to bite his head. You know what? I'm gonna reroll that.
That hits. You snap into them with those runic threads, enhancing your strike. It is enough to tear this occultist down. But as he goes down, there is a rumble, like the felling of a tree beyond the wall of ghosts, and a roar.
You're chewing. Don't interrupt. Kukati. You will punish us all.
I think stopping your ritual will stop him from coming here. I have one action left,
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
and I'm gonna just try to bite her next.
Okay.
Might as well try.
Some of the stable hands still struggles in their bonds. That'll be a hit.
You know, I should probably try to free that guy, shouldn't I?
Maybe. They don't have any, like, ritual killing of him ready just yet, but you do make another nasty bite towards Zodo. The other cultist, struggling, still continues the ritual. But as we begin at the top of the round, that rumbling from beyond, that looming shadow gets closer, but as one of the occultists die, there's this backlash of this dark, miasmic fog, almost this rippling across one of the faces of the wall to the south here where that occultist fell, and stumbling out from this wall are some strange horrors. In fact,
Cool.
give me different. Actually, no, I like the old. Trying to find a good boss battle music. Where's my old stuff? Here's my old stuff. That's fine. I'll just use the same one that we were doing. As these two creatures stumble out, they seem these grotesque amalgamations of some humanoids. They are recalled in that image you saw on the altar, these long, gangly armed, two long-armed creatures with wicked claws at their ends, but heads of simply wicker baskets filled with these crimson butterflies. They gnaw their way through the wall after the death of that occultist. I'm going to need to roll their initiatives. Natural 20 on one of them, as one just rakes out immediately and actually goes on the attack first because we're at the top of the round. This one steps forward, rushing towards Yuga, and then goes for a quick strike. It definitely
I
crits.
forgot my focus spell again. God, it's so hard.
Deals 34 damage immediately
Oh,
to
cool.
Yuga because they maximized a crit. Unfortunately.
Okay, so I fall to the floor.
Oh, that's bad.
Shit.
So much for my sustain.
Let me just check if these numbers are right. Yeah, they are.
I need
that's
to remember my focus spell. Oh my god.
Okay, so you would have gotten your focus spell on this guy. Give yourself your... You would have survived this if you had remembered, and you would have done it, right?
I would have done it if I remember.
Yeah, so you would get...
I'm so new to this spell still.
Yeah, you would get this death call out. We're going to say that that should have happened. Yep.
Crows have very good memories. Thus, Yuga has a very good memory.
It's very Lurkers level plus your spell cast. So you get 6. You would have had 6, and this guy dealt 34. You would have survived with 6 and 31.
3 hit points.
3 hit points, yes. As it lumbers out, but it's seemingly slow, strangely. This. You can't imagine this creature is that tough to take down. It just loofs out and slashes you with such strength.
See his punishment. Look.
And she tries to faint. Shugo. The 19 against your perception DC of 19. You are off guard for this attack. I'm just going to make the attack and we'll change it if we need to. Which doesn't miss by 2, so you're fine. You're no longer, well, fainted. They are, though, going to... they wouldn't really need to do that. They're going to cast Shield on themselves. Bowsin, your turn as these grotesque creatures from the other side emerge.
Alrighty, I'm gonna use my first action to sustain hideous laughter. Laughing fit.
Laughing fit, okay, they still can't use
broke
reactions.
Alrighty. And I'm going to cast with my remaining 2 actions. The second rank concordant choir I have prepared.
Mm-hmm. On these 2. Okay.
We know their fortitude's low, and we need some damage.
Mm-hmm. Rolling out their fortitude. One rolls a natural 1. Zudu, actually. Zudu actually seems to have a better fortitude than the others, but still just is so distracted. This choir of souls, perhaps,
Does 22 damage.
resonates in her ears. Is there a critical effect to this, or no? This doesn't deafen. Okay.
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. As it rings in their ears, yes, it breaks their ears really badly. This Zudu could go down very soon here.
Strings of fate. That's my turn. Remember that laughing fit sustain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Don.
Right then. Things are falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Put things mildly. I'm going to step on over
Mm-hmm.
and immediately feed you a thing that I'm brewing up. Just a quick tincture.
Okay, you're gonna use all 3 actions on this.
Yep. I'm gonna have an elixir of life and immediately feeding it to him.
You guys still standing. He's feeding you this elixir.
It's so cool.
Quick ceiling. Not that bad, actually. Might actually make the difference. As you step up, that rat was still going after Yuga.
Thank you. That's
First
gonna make the
attack is
difference. Thank you for the potion.
5 damage to you, Yuga. The potion helps you maintain the fortitude you would need. And seeing that, the rat's going to turn on Liaodon and use its 2 remaining attacks on them. Missing the second and missing the third. That'll
Why
be
couldn't I get the 3 in the fight?
all that they can do. Yuga.
Okay, question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, okay, so battle medicine says it can only be used on a person once per day. Do you play that as 24 hours or as next adventuring day?
Next adventuring day, yeah. When you rest, it
Thank
resets.
you.
We're not tracking 24-hour intervals. That's stupid.
I wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
So if I want to maximize the use of my actions, I want to start with the battle medicine then.
Mm-hmm.
Please crit, please crit, please crit.
Pretty good roll. 9 on the dice. Gives you a decent amount of healing. 6 there. For 1 action. Okay.
That's kind of garbage. Wow. I did bad. Okay, so the Concordant Choir, let's see, that's just, okay, that's just a singular blast. So there's no actual effect there.
Loping creature looms in front of you, threatening to
It seriously does.
massively strike you once again.
I think I want to take care of the guy up top, but I'm in way too much danger right now. But there's 2 rats there. That's cool. I'm gonna risk a single action heal and then move.
Okay. Quick single action.
I do not like single action heals, but I'm desperate.
They have their uses.
Please maximize.
Really
Hey,
good.
above average.
Mm-hmm. You rush through the darkness. You're still mostly in it, so you're still affected by it. Cannot see to the outside at that position.
It's good enough for now.
Okay. With that, one of these loping creatures from
Unless-
beyond the wall. Sorry, you go?
You know what? No, that's fine. I'm fine. Wait,
Okay.
unless like that corner there is low enough to get around it.
Yeah, you can go from there to there. Mm-hmm. Easy. You're good.
Okay, so that would be number 25 then.
Yes. Alright, this one lopes up towards Shugo. As soon as they get into distance, they're going to throw a massive fist into you. And as they do, they're going to hit. Pummels into your side, cracking into your, well, stony body. And it is immediately going to use its improved push. And it will attempt a shove against you for the purpose of this. Which does succeed. You are shoved backwards, and it will follow after. You can stride after him, must be the same distance, same direction. It's up to here. Actually, technically, you can't because it's difficult terrain, so never mind. It will stay there. So you're shoved back by that brutish force. This rat going to get into a flank against Leodon and start biting. That's a hit. Once again, Leodon, this rat's just nibbling away at you for 5. Roll fortitude save as well.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Yoink.
15, you feel fine. Gonna go for another and another. 1 and 2, none of them are hitting, but eventually they might get through. Well, they already did. Either way, Shugo, back to you as you have been shoved back into the darkness.
I'm kind of concerned about killing her now. Just a little bit.
Is her shield ready? She looks weak.
I am going to try to take her down.
Okay. That's a hit. She uses the shield to absorb 5 of that damage, bringing her down only 4. She still keeps herself alive. Wait,
She
no,
does
she
not
cannot
have
use her
reactions.
reactions, so as she tries to pull up the shield, sort of speaking the command word, she's broken into by that laughter and falls to the ground dead
That is
as you
hilarious.
rip into their side. Yeah, you still hear their voice, and all this time the not robo speak telepathically to you unless they have a face.
He's your problem now.
Shugo, what do you do with the rest of your turn?
So the shadow does not dissipate, correct?
The darkness? No, it is not a sustained spell. It lasts a minute.
Or not the darkness, the shadow in the fog.
Shadow in the fog, nothing is happening until you end your turn. Because it's happening in
Okay.
this 6 seconds, yes.
Oh man. I'm gonna move to help try to kill some of these rats in the meantime.
Okay.
And I don't think that should be invisible still.
It's not, yeah. Snap towards them. That hits. 1d damage is easily enough to rip this rat to shreds.
Alright, that's all 3 of my actions. Shugo
Okay.
kind of watches the wall of ghosts, like, kind of nervous.
Well, as Zudados falls, this occultist just drops the ritual and rushes off. As they do so, the wall again ripples as the rage of whatever is beyond pounds against its cage, and these ripples again unleash another set of these two
This is fine.
grotesque creatures, again from that position where that occultist ran from. There's an upper bow fallen. This rat is going to run off too. Going to be scared of these loping creatures, these zombie creatures, whatever they are. Going to roll their initiatives as they arrive. These guys leave. We don't go to this guy's initiative because we have to do that at the top. Sudu is out. This guy's out. As the battle suddenly shifts to one of survival against these, whatever these things are that have broken across the veil. It is going to take another step towards Leodon, and once again, actually, those long arms allow them to attack from 10 feet as it whips it out to, like, grotesquely extending their arm further than it should to strike out against Leodon. That definitely hits for 16. They're also going to immediately try to shove you as per their improved push. I think that's using your athletics for some reason, but they would have missed anyway. They're going to go for another strike because they don't need to move. Another sweep, but this one you're able to avoid. Battle's in. Over to you.
Alrighty. So if I can see out of here, assuming based on how these guys look, they're probably gonna be pretty simple, like zombies. So I'm gonna cast Needle of Vengeance on this guy.
Okay.
Let me get it in chat. If he targets Shugo, he will have to make a save.
Easy enough. Needle of Vengeance hovers above them.
And for my remaining actions, what's the range on this?
As you attempt to summon the needle with threat upon their mind, you realize that there is no mind to threaten with the needle. The needle is a mental effect and they are immune to mental.
I assume that takes my focus point still.
It does, unfortunately, to learn that information.
That's okay. It's information learned. So instead, well, with my remaining 2 actions, I'm going to cast my other Concordant Choir.
Okay.
Try to do some damage.
As these two are struck by the brunt of this choir. Unfortunately, their forms seem to be well suited to avoiding the worst of it. Only one taking half.
High Fortitude and immune to mental stuff. Cool.
So,
This is tough.
unsteady but highly constitution focused build. Leodon, what do you do?
Become very scared. I'm going to devise a stratagem first off.
Mm-hmm. You can roll religion for your recall knowledge on these guys.
Yep, that was my second thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I even invested in religion. How convenient. I'm keeping that as an attack, obviously.
Yep. You understand these beings as Well, you would have to call them Kugaki's blessings, as they seem to have these marred bodies, these lack of identity, lack of soul, it seems. These are undead creatures and act quite similarly to zombies, though have quite different things going on about them as well. So what do you want to know specifically about them?
Do they have any resistances that we should know?
They have no resistances.
Oh, I guess that figures. Let me proceed to run away.
Okay. As you are rushing away, Yuga, it is your turn.
Yeah,
The Odon does shout out that these are undead beings.
okay, so we kind of have like this guy that's in bindings, though.
He seems to be ignored by them at the moment. Nothing is happening to him.
Okay. Hit and run tactics now, looks like. Oh boy. Unfortunately, my survival strategy ended up killing my spiritual dagger. I really hate that. But let's try casting Sacred Whippoorwills on the two that are above me.
Okay.
A temporary burst there.
Reflex saves on these guys. The way they loop around doesn't give them much chance of avoiding this. Though one gets lucky. Most of the attack is focused on the one to the north. That one takes 12 damage. The other one takes half. They seem to have a lot going on, and that piercing damage doesn't seem to do anything extra to them either.
Yeah. I'm gonna start moving through the darkness. I have a trajectory planned for now.
Okay. You rush into the darkness.
There we go.
So you rush away. This one here. Being the not needing eyesight creatures they are going to step up to the darkness and strike at Shugo. Actually, no, they aren't going to be here. You go for a quick strike at Shugo again, just this unrelenting force strikes you and maximizes its damage for a total of 17. That is all it can do. Actually, no, it can push. It is going to always do this ability, sort of using the momentum and sheer strength of their attack to send you flying back.
Can I choose to fail the saving throw?
You can, yeah.
Okay, I choose to fail the saving throw.
You're sent back, it will follow. Further into the darkness.
Ugh.
Shugo, it's your
Oh,
turn.
I see what you're doing.
Shugo is going to experiment, and he is going to unleash his breath weapon.
Okay.
See if this does anything.
This is spirit, correct?
Yes.
Against their fortitude.
Oh, yeah, 42.
One of them will fail, the other will succeed. Roll the damage. To unleash this breath of spirits out from you. The ones that aid your attacks and all that. One takes 3 damage, the other takes half. It doesn't seem the spirit damage seems to be doing anything in particular.
Okay, next I am going to keep experimenting, and I'm going to do a claw swipe at the one in front of me.
Mm-hmm. Critical, in fact. As you slash with your claw, that thread, that body, it seems paper thin. It takes extra damage from the slashing.
Good to know. That's all 3 actions.
Okay. Now, like a deluge, with the rain coming down, this one's going to rush up as far as it can trying to surround, cut off Yuga, but it's all it can do with its slowed action. This one as well gets into the fray, gets around Yuga. You can hear the strange loping and stepping through the earth. No sounds come from these creatures, which makes them all the more eerie. This one is going to get into the fog a little bit more and go again for Shugo with one strike. Which it does hit. I don't know why it's getting a flank with,
Should not be flanked.
yeah, so that would actually miss.
This one is here and it has reach.
I think that's at the right angle.
That's not
though.
the right angle, no.
Yeah.
I think the system might be really, like, open to flanking, but it would... Yeah, that's not a flank. So,
So it doesn't hit?
that was it. Your turn.
Oh, goodness.
Surrounded by this darkness still.
This is not a good situation, but we can make the most of it. Since Nudge Fate is going to give crits, I am going to cast Nudge Fate on myself to benefit myself, as well as the Familiar Bounce Luck to increase my AC. And then, with the bonus one potential, I am going to cast Needle Darts on this one down and to my left. With the Cold Iron I have.
Okay.
It is Cold Iron, right? Yeah, Cold
Yeah.
Iron.
That's a hit.
Hit, okay. It'd be so nice if
Sling
Cold Iron
these
did something to it.
piercing bolts into it. It doesn't seem to sizzle in their flesh or do anything special to them. But it hurts them.
Nice. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay, Leodon, everything has disappeared into this wall of darkness.
Well, that's inconvenient.
Unfortunately, yeah. Actually, technically, because of the burst of this, I don't think this guy is affected. So you can still target him as normal. He's too far
Good,
outside of it.
because that is what I will exactly do.
Mm-hmm.
Better him. I'm gonna keep that as an attack,
Okay.
and I'm going to attack him.
Alright, recall knowledge on that as well?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, roll religion. Always use that, because you can get crits and get bonuses to attacks. Are not able to learn anything new about them, though.
Annoying, but fair enough. Let's see, can I hit?
You can
Yeah.
exactly. The crossbow shot towards them. And for a good amount of damage, too. Pierces into their back.
Reload, map attack.
Okay. That's gonna be another hit.
Dang,
Quick
if only there
reload.
was not a map attack.
And a quick shot for another 3. 2 bolts
That's all of my actions.
rocket into them. Yuga, you can spend a hero point if you want for recall knowledge on religion. There's something that's at the back of your mind.
I'll take it.
The first time you've ever encountered the undead in such stark quantity. You recognize,
24.
of course, that the undead are weak to vitality damage, just as much as these would be weak to slashing.
They sure are. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm gonna take a big risk. You're 30 feet with me. I love that. I love that Leodon is 30 feet from me. I was already thinking about doing this, but that little nudge just gave me the encouragement I needed. I may be flanked right now, but I'm gonna make a vitality explosion centered on my body.
Okay. Reaction heal. As the undead are swarming around you, you realize that you have that power within you to not only heal, but to cast away the evil around you. In fact, heal all your allies at the same time. So, roll the damage and healing as I'm rolling their fortitude saves, all of them. See a natural 1, a natural 3,
Very
and successes
so.
as well. Standardized roll. Doesn't much matter when they're so weak to it. And for the purpose of it, as you unleash this blinding vitality upon everyone here, it also has the effect, even though it doesn't have the light trait, it also does have the effect of disabling the darkness, as it was already tenuous with the death of the caster of it. The darkness is blown away as this aura of light and healing is just cast across the battlefield here. Healing everybody and damaging everybody too. For every enemy, every blessing from Kugapti. This one actually takes 8... Actually, hold on. Let me rewind him. He would take double damage plus the weakness, so a total of 26. Then this one down here takes half, but still takes the full weakness. This one up next to you takes half, but still takes the full weakness, of course. And the one right next to you takes the full damage and the weakness damage, for a large total of damage and healing to all of your allies as well, as that burst subsumes the battlefield. Especially taking away the darkness so that it's a better viewing experience for those watching as well. So, yeah.
Yay!
Thank you for that. Status unleashed. They all look substantially weakened by it, but they still surge on. This one actually is going to switch targets to Baozin, seeing as there's a flank there. It doesn't matter when there's a natural 20 in the situation. Rolls a 6 on the dice, total of 22. Not as bad as it could be, you certainly know that, as you were able to survive that strike. It doesn't push you because it can't really push you into the enemy. I'm going to switch its target over to Shugo and make another hefty strike towards him. Does hit with the map. Shugo, you are dealt 10 damage here, and it's going to attempt to push you back. Shove, athletics check against you will, I believe, fail as you hold your ground. That'll be its turn. Shugo, over to you.
I'm gonna try to finish that thing off before
Okay.
it causes more issues with the claw strike.
Realizing your slashing attacks are dealing a lot more to these guys, you do hit. Roll the damage. Slashes them straight to the ground as those butterflies just flutter out of that cage, leaving only an empty cage in a grotesque form behind.
And I'm gonna go for the other one next to me as well with another flurry of claws.
Okay. Sudden burst of vitality has invigorated you to continue the assault, slashing into this one again. This one is dealt even more damage. It's still holding up, though barely.
Got one action left. Nope.
Missing there, unfortunately. Now, Yuga, you are the center of attention.
Yay! I sure am.
They're going to attack.
Don't like these odds.
4 on the dice. Does hit because of the flank. Unfortunately, you find yourself in a very difficult place to defend yourself. You're taking 13 from that first one. It goes for a map attack. 2 on the dice. Fails. It will miss. The other one, though, continues to attack you. First strike. 4 on the dice. Hits. Exactly because
Whereas
of
one's
that
watching me.
flank. You're dealt another 10. It takes one more strike. You are on your last legs, and it barely misses you. As you're able to push them aside, try to bring up your symbol of Pharasma to bait any strike you can, and seemingly it helps.
Pharasma, I love you.
It's one way to make a prayer.
I know, right?
This one, right next to Shugo, continues to attack.
Someone clip that.
I don't know if you can clip on YouTube.
You can on the recording.
Ah, okay.
You know what? I'll do it later.
Sure. 15
Once you
damage
upload
to
it.
you, Shugo. As it batters in, it's going to go for another
Ow.
strike. And the zombie creatures, slow as they are really hard hitting if they can get a grip of you. That's going to be another hit on Shugo. In fact, it might send you to the ground. It does. As Shugo is
That's
finally
scary.
knocked down, Baozin, you are feeling very weak yourself. What do you do?
Oh boy.
Don't suppose you're able to take out the one that's between us, huh?
Not quickly.
Because if you guys can take out the one that's between me and you, I can get off another group heal. I'm probably gonna do it anyway, but
gonna use an action to. What is the range on the group heal?
30 feet.
Everything, it's hitting everything.
Okay, I'm gonna stride over here so that I'm out of their reach.
Mhm.
And on the closest one, I am going to use my most reliable option, needle darts.
Okay. Scampering away and then slinging darts behind. See if you hit. Definitely hits. Almost a crit. Still, as they needle in, 9 damage. Damage is damage. They're looking decently roughed up.
The one below me is at near death, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Leodon, you see that?
It's gonna die when I do a group spell anyway.
Yep.
Yep. In that case, I will turn my attention towards the one that Hugo wants out of the way.
Okay.
First, I reload though.
Yeah.
Stratagem. And I'm keeping that.
Mm-hmm.
And next, I'm going to attack.
Easy enough. That is definitely going to hit on the start there. Nine damage. Lenny. Still holding up.
And I'm going to reload once more.
One more
All
reload.
3 of my actions.
Bolt back in the chamber. Yuga, it's back to you.
Sure is.
Another emanation, a burst of pharasmite healing swirls around.
Ooh, a worse
This one,
roll.
a little bit worse, but not that much. Still, 6 healing, plenty to go around. Gonna roll there. Fortitude saves. 2, 2, and 3 actually. Really bad rolls on their part. They all fail, taking the full damage plus their weaknesses. This one takes 16, this one takes 16. The other one is basically fried in the vitality aura coming off of Yuga. But as you unleash that,
Fried.
you have little energy left in you. Hugo, however,
I think my turn should be further back because I got knocked down.
you were knocked down by one of these creatures. Which one? Oh yeah, okay. So you would be down here, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna rewind
Sorry,
a little
Hugo.
bit.
Oh.
They're going to go for their strikes against Yuga.
Thanks, Hugo.
Goes for 1, 12 on the dice. Total of 17 puts you down to 0. As you fall, they focus on other targets. This one actually is going to rush towards Leo Dawn. This one here focuses on other targets. Steps here, goes for a strike against Balzin.
You really shouldn't.
I played my part.
But you're able to duck away. Shugo, your turn.
I'm gonna get up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna keep clawing away.
Okay. 9 on the dice definitely hits. This one already sizzling from the vitality energy. You're able to slash them down to the ground. Destroyed.
That's all 3.
Okay. This one's already dead. Balzin, your turn.
Alrighty. Nice 60. I'm gonna cast Nudge Fate on myself. I'm gonna increase Shugo's armor class because he's the only one close enough that it would matter. And then I'm gonna cast Needle Darts on this remaining lad.
Okay. You'll sling across over Shugo towards them. 10 on the dice should hit, yes.
I love this spell.
12 damage there. They're still holding up though.
Porcupine. That
So
is
many
my turn.
wounds.
Leodon.
Yep, over to you.
Alright. Oh, there's exactly one fella here. I'm going to roll for my number.
Devise a stratagem.
Yep, that's attack. I'm going to roll my second number for hopefully a crit.
Not a crit there. You can learn something if you want to.
Do they have any special abilities that we somehow haven't seen yet?
They're healed by void energy.
I guess that figures.
But you already literally know that because of their weakness to vitality. But yeah, they don't have anything else. They're pretty simple.
Alright, I'm moving over here and I'm firing my crossbow bolt that I loaded.
Okay. Quick shot, hits. And a pretty substantial amount of damage. Not enough to take it down. It's barely surviving. Yuga, you would be somewhere else in this list, I think. Doesn't really matter because nothing's going for you, so you can just roll your recovery check.
Sure.
Where this guy goes or something. I don't know.
Oh, I re-rolled it.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. You are stable. This guy, lopes towards Shugo, goes for a strike. Definitely hits. Shugo, you are once again knocked to the ground. That's the end of its turn. We don't go over your turn. We go to Baozin's once again. Baozin.
Alrighty. So, same thing again.
Mm.
Actually, I don't even need to sustain Nudge Fate. Just gonna shoot those needle darts.
Easy enough. One final volley of needle darts. We'll actually
I'm gonna hero
not...
point that.
Okay. Good time.
Wait, I don't need to hero point it. I have Nudge Fate up still because it lasts until it's used.
Yeah, okay, if you had it from before. Mm-hmm. So it hits. And that last volley of needles peppers into it. The crossbow bolts burned from the vitality. Finally stumbles and falls. The butterflies fluttering away from the wicker cage that could never hold them in the first place. That is the end of that. As these guys fell, that shadow in the wall seemed to have settled down, still loomed beyond it. These great many arms or horns or some sort of appendage constantly moving and shifting. This unstable form, this form that doesn't seem to have a stable identity, constantly shifting. Looms for a moment like a great octopus or great spider or a great four-armed man or something, before just disappearing with the mists. Wall of Ghosts seems stable. Something definitely has changed as well. Alright, give yourselves 200 experience points.
That was exhilarating. I feel very useful.
Mm-hmm.
Denying those reactions really messed up that cultist.
You awaken with 1 hit point for the purposes of ease. And Sugar does as well. Otherwise, mechanically, the Outdod can whip up elixirs, go around, heal people. We don't need to go through all that. You guys wake up.
Wow.
Shugo's gonna stagger back up to his feet and immediately go for the victim here.
They seem a bit dazed, but are able to mutter out, thank you. Thank you. I don't know what was going to happen to me.
Nothing good. You would have probably been killed to bring whatever that was to this world.
Well, you don't mince your words, do you? Ugh.
like that?
Well, they didn't hurt me, actually. They treated me kindly, or at least as kindly as those creatures could. Fed me properly, said that I was their chosen, or something. Turn that god to this world. Oh, I need to leave here. I need to return. Is my father alright?
Yes, we saved him from the lumber camp as well. He is in good shape.
Good. I'll return to him. You said he was there.
He's
Right.
probably still there, yes.
Waiting on me, of course, the stubborn old man. Well, seems you've gotten a break from repairing our fences and finding our cattle. I still need your help. They broke up everything we tried to fix so far, in fact, invading it. Just back to almost a square one, to where you helped us from before. Basically all the
We'll
same.
have to prioritize that
Yes.
once
it's-
we're back.
Yeah, a man always thinks about his work first and foremost, at least in this village. I'm fine, really. I'll find my way back. I guess you're going to clean up here.
Find this book or sort of a ledger,
Yes.
buddy.
In fact, that's for some reason they put the wrong item on this guy. I'm going to delete that item and give you the actual item in there, which should be this one. There we go. Strange leather-bound journal.
This is interesting. Let's take this back and study it, just in case there's any clues in there. I'd also pick up this interesting knife. It's strangely red.
Seems that as you touch it, Yuga, you feel curious echoes of souls within the blade. You're pretty confident that there's nobody actually inside of it anymore, of course. But they're furious echoes, their anger, the souls of perhaps a few of the villagers that were still declared missing after the attack on the village from those many weeks ago. Vengeful, angry, it doesn't sit right in your head. Perhaps there's some way to cleanse this. In a Rasmite rite.
I'll
Turn it
bring home
into
with
something a
me.
little bit better for you.
The only other thing that's on this spot that's relevant is the holy symbol, twisted out of wood. But those don't really generally have much power in themselves.
They do not. You're fairly certain that this ritual has been stopped. Though, as you look to the wall, it looks tumultuous. It looks weakened in some way, in some places, by the events tonight. Or today, rather. And, well, you feel confident that whatever is beyond it is still trapped there, at least for the moment. Perhaps the town now has the time and the safety to truly begin the healing process from the attack 2 weeks ago.
I'd also suggest that maybe this might be a good candidate for our point of entry when we eventually make our assault on whatever's there. But that's for a later time. Then again, who knows if this spot will heal before then?
We need to research what it was in that book you found first, and then we can make a decision.
We should learn about this Kugapti.
Yeah.
Doesn't
And
seem like
besides-
he's behind the fog barrier. Rather, he was trying to push through it.
Probably.
And that makes me wonder who put up this barrier. And is it to keep us in, or is it to keep Kugapti or something else worse out?
Well, just thinking about it more is just strange. If these are the creatures that attacked the village, they also got stuck here.
Hmm,
It doesn't make much sense to me.
true. Questions to ponder as we travel back to town.
That you do.
Things could have gotten much worse.
And you take basically the rest of the day. It's a pretty easy trek. Light rain still coming down back to Willow Shore, arriving by nightfall. But for the purpose of things, I think this is an excellent spot as you guys arrive back in town. The hail of heroes due to all the people that have been saved for us to end tonight's session.
Good stopping point.
Mm-hmm. And of course, even though you haven't gotten the XP today, definitely plan to level up tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, but next
Tomorrow.
week.
Tomorrow!
But yeah, that is it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. It's been good streaming on YouTube. Even though there's been some technical difficulties, I know that my avatar is freezing up sometimes. I have definitely figured that it's simply just video encoding and all. For some reason, it's a lot harder on my system to encode for YouTube than it was for Twitch, so my avatar freezes up sometimes. It's kind of annoying. But either way, I realized if I close out of literally every single other application, I can squeeze out enough RAM or something for it to be okay. Because I think at the same time, it's like encoding it for a video, not just streaming, I guess. I don't know. That being said, if you guys enjoyed today's session, have a look at my Patreon, actually. Patreon.com/KoboldDM. I just released my second set of maps for Season of Ghosts. I don't have... Actually, you know what? I think I do have them here. And since you guys have already been to some of these maps, I can show you. New maps. Such as the glade of mushrooms that was infested. Put you guys down real quick so I can
Mushrooms.
show you. Big mushrooms. I do have a version of the map there, it's cleared, but neither here nor there. And also the Great Willow, which I like this map a lot.
Beautiful.
But yeah, these are the type of maps I put out as supplements for Season of Ghosts. So if you are planning on running Season of Ghosts, there are a total of 10 maps currently, extra maps. Just for the start of the campaign, really. There are a lot of extra maps that need to be added to the Foundry module. You should absolutely get the official Paizo Foundry module first, because that has all the main maps, like the Lumber Camp and the Ritual Site that we just played on. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Yuga, you stream over on Twitch, I believe.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. I am Chris Coble, the player of Yuga. And I stream on Twitch at Chris Coble at Wednesday and Saturday at 6 p.m. U.S. Central Time. Come by some time. It'll be nice and fun.
Absolutely. So with that, we are locking off. Thank you guys for watching tonight. We'll see you next week. See y'all.
Have a good
See ya.
night and good week.
Bye.